students, welcome to the online session for the subject of industrial safety. These are the virtual classes for the subject of industrial safety. The subject of industrial safety is mainly for the students of civil engineering, particularly structural engineering and mechanical engineering. So here we will be discussing all the topics that are related to the subject of industrial safety. So now we will be starting with our session. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hello students. So uh, we are in the online session for the subject of industrial safety. Okay. So this is the subject which used to come for the branch of structural engineering and mechanical engineering in the post graduation course. So yes, here we are studying the industrial safety, and we have already started our lectures, and this is our seventh session, online session for the subject of industrial safety. Okay, so we are now in the module one. We have covered the topics. Topics are connected to, or we can say that they are synchronized with the syllabus of GTU. So all the topics that are in the GTU will be covered in our session. Okay, so yes, now we will be proceeding towards our further topics. Yes. So the contents that we will be discussing in today's session will be goals of fire prevention program, fire prevention strategy, housekeeping issues, flammable and combustible liquids, electrical fire hazards, compartmentalization. So these are all topics, these are all contents that we are going to discuss in today's session. Fire prevention goals. So first of all, life safety. Why we are uh, why we want, what are the purpose we are behind the prevention of fire. The first is the life safety. The primary goal of the fire safety efforts is to protect a building occupants from the injury to prevent loss of life. So mainly we are preventing the fire so that the harm doesn't happens to the occupants. His life will not get endangered, his body, or we can say that he doesn't get hurt, or he doesn't catch fire. Okay, so because of that purpose we are uh, making a fire prevention goals. Second is the property protection. We all know that when fire is to occur, then it has a high damage to the property. So it is necessary to prevent the damage to the property, because if the damage occurs to the property, then its strength, its load taking capacity will get reduced. Its fine, its cost will also get reduced. Market importance, market value get also get reduced. So in order to prevent this kind of problems, it is necessary to have a protection against the fire. Secondary goal of the fire safety is to prevent the property damage. This is what we want from the property protection. The third is protection of operations. Okay. Uh, by preventing the fires and limiting the damage, we can assure that work operation means the operations that are used to occur will not get obstructed. They will get continued. So for that purpose, it is necessary to have a fire prevention strategy for the fire prevention also. So we all know that the fire must have three things that ignite. That is the fuel, heat, and oxygen. So the basic strategy for the prevention, or to control or isolate the source of the fuel and the heat in order to prevent the combustion. Means we can say that out of these three components, if any one is missed, or you can say that if any one is left in the combination, then obviously the fire will not occur. So it is necessary to take care so that any one component, or we can say that all three components will not get mixed up. Okay? If all the three are present in sufficient quantities, a fire will ignite, or a fire will be unable to sustain the combustion. So means when all the three are present, then obviously a fire will occur. Housekeeping. Housekeeping habit means good housekeeping habits are very much important parts for the safe work. Why good housekeeping is important? That we will discuss right now. To reduce the amount of the flammable and combustible material, to reduce the ignition hazard, to ensure the safe emergency evacuation of the, to allow the quick emergency response. So these are all the things. Means in order to reduce the flammable content, in order to reduce the ignitions somehow some you can say that some machines used to work where the ignition used to take place. So if proper housekeeping is taken care, then such ignition, though it is occurring, will not have damage to the overall property. Okay, if we can say that proper housekeeping will also reduce the intensity of the fire if it has occurred, and with the help of the proper housekeeping, a proper plan, or we can say that proper safety will be safety can be taken into account. And with the help of that safety, for example, you can say that a path can be created from where in emergency the person or people can exit. We all used to have such kind of paths, or such kind of doors, or we can say that such kind of openings in any building, any public building. In malls we used to have the fire emergency access exit. The place where it is required is definitely okay. So by this, quick response can be done. So housekeeping is an important term from which we can uh, provide a protection to the peoples and also to the property, and also reduce its intensity. General housekeeping guidelines: work areas, SLAs, walkways, stairways, and equipments are kept clear of loose material, trash, and scrap. Means we can say that in such kind of components, for example, stairs or walkways, there should not be any kind of loose material. For example, scrap or trash. Never block ashley, fire exit, emergency equipment, or alarm pull station with equipment. So it should be open. It should be open to atmosphere so that uh, it can find the smoke, and it can alarm. It can ring so that so that it can work properly. So it is necessary that such kind of protection equipment should not be covered. It should be kept open so that once the fire comes in contact with them, it uh, will get um, it will work properly. Avoid the buildup of the combustible trash and the waste such as paper, wood, cardboard, etc. So it's such kind of things. It is not advisable to place near the walkways or where the combustion or some fire used to take place. Keep the use and the storage of the flammable and the combustible to the minimum. So such kind of objects where which are highly flammable, it should be used minimum. It should have minimum usage so that the chances of the occurrence of the fire can be reduced. Clean up all the spills such as grease, oils, or water immediately. This is very much important for our industries. So where there is an excessive oil or grease that is being or coated, or we can say that it has spread around the machinery, is required to be wiped out so that there should not be any kind of the grease or oil. And we all know that they are highly inflammable. Once they get contact with the oil, or we can say that grease, the fire comes in contact with the oil or grease, it will definitely burn. Okay. So it is necessary to wipe out all the extra oil grease that is found in our industry. The delay could result in the accidents. So we all know the delay will result in the accidents. Storage guidelines. All the storage must be 3 feet from the electrical panel. Okay. The storage should be 3 feet away from the electrical panel. So here picture is there where a storage is done, and it is around 3 feet away from this electrical board. In some emergency situations, it will be necessary to access these panels quickly. So yes, from short circuit point of view and from protection point of view, also it is required. So it is necessary to keep the storage away so that it doesn't have an impact of acceleration of the fire. At the same time, once if some fire or small a short circuit has occurred, then it can be easily access. It should be easily accessible so that the person can reach to that electrical panel and can switch off the lights, or we can say that he can remove the uh, plug or any other source, so that by doing so the electricity will get shut down, and the further increase in the fire because of that short circuit will not take. Okay, so the moral of this slide is that there should be certain distance, minimum 3 feet, between the electrical panels and the storage material. Storage guidelines: maintain at least 3 feet clearance from heating surface, air ducts, heaters, and light. So yes, there should be a distance while moving also, while moving in the industry, while moving in the malls, while moving in the other small industry or any kind of offices where we find air ducts, heaters, lighting fixtures. It is necessary to have a distance of 3 feet clearance from them. It is uh, good for them also and good for us also, because something happens, some unusual happens, then sparkling will takes place. And if the person is nearer to that equipment, then definitely he will catch the fire. And if the storage is nearer to that uh, panel, then obviously the storage will get fire. And unfortunately, if there is an oil placed nearby to it, then it will cause a large explosion. So here we can see that uh, a cylinder is placed near the uh, electric panel, which is the worst kind of a thing. Here we can say that, see that that is the worst kind of thing. So once if the sparkling takes place and it is necessary, we can say once if unfortunately if the sparkling will takes place, then definitely it will have an effect of the cylinder. And as a result of this, as a result of cylinder, the large explosion can take place. The storage of the combustible material in the mechanical room is prohibited, where there are lots of machines, where machine used to takes place, where reciprocating machines are there. There it is necessary to keep the storage of flammable and combustible liquids. Flammable and combustible liquids are having the potential fuel source for fires and are present in almost every work. It is actually a vapor created by the flammable and combustible liquid that ignites the burn. It is important to understand what material is your work area are flammable and combustible, so that you may properly store the elastic store and isolate them from the ignition. So it is necessary that the flammable equipment should be isolated and it should be properly stored. Fire safety electrical issues. So electrical issues are caused by numerous of workplace. Okay. There are numerous causes that can cause the workplace for fire. Faulty electrical equipments, misuse of the equipments produce a heat and spark. If the equipments are not being treated properly, then definitely it will misfunction, and as a result of this, the heat and the sparks will take place, and as a result of this, the ignition will occur. And once the ignition will occur, then obviously the flames will be found and the combustible material will get fired. Examples of the common ignition hazards are overloading circuits, use of the unapproved electrical devices, damaged on warm wiring. Okay, so these are all the examples of the ignition hazard. Electrical fire safety, extension cords. Extension cords are only approved for temporary. They may be only used for a period of 3 days or less. Instead of using the extension cord, contact FP&M to install the permanent wire. When using the extension cord, check that the defaults such as the phrase, brittleness, and broken. Never place the extension cord in the high traffic area where they can be damaged being stepped on or run over. So the moral of this slide is that we need to take proper care while using the extension cords. Extension cords are always used temporarily only. They are not used permanently. The minimum usage, we can say, sorry, the maximum usage of the electrical cords is less than 3 days. And it should not be used with the heavy equipment. So that by heavy equipment, it gets the higher load. So it that can also cause the short circuit or any kind of fire. So it is necessary to use the electrical extension cord properly. Multi-plug strips. Now it should be only used for the office equipment such as computers, printers, fax machines. Other common items such as microwaves, refrigerators, and common machine must be plugged directly into the wall outlet. These are the requirements by the state fire marshal. Multi-plug should be used. It should have a fuse or circuit breaker, and it should be fuel approved. So here the more of the story, more of this slide is multi-plug strip. It is not. It is only used for the office purpose. For example, computers, they are not used in the our kitchen appliance or any kind of an home use appliance, because it should not get be overloaded, and it should be proper requirement of the state fire marshal, and it should be UL approved. Compartmentalization. Buildings are designed to prevent fire, heat, and smoke from the spreading and beyond location of the origination. origination. Building elements such as firewalls, fire dampers, and the fire doors are required to be designed to seal off one location from the next. This system is called compartmentalization. Means we are just isolating the one part of the building to the another part, so that by doing so, the heat or the fire that has formed in one part will not get transferred to the another part. By doing so, we can isolate the one building from the another. Okay. Compartmentalization increases the safety of evacuating the building occupants, because smoke and the fire are not able to escape into exit passage. Containment of the fire and smoke reduce the property damage and prevent the small fires from growing into the large fire. So this is what the importance of the compartmentalization is, just isolation. We are obstructing the fire. As a result, it will start increasing. Its intensity will not get increased. It will be maintained. It get lowered down, and and slowly it will get stopped. In order for the compartmentalization efforts to be effective, fire barriers must be maintained. This is an important thing that is required to be done in each and every building, in each and every public or residential building or commercial building. Such provisions will prevent the expansion of the fire. As a result, damage will get reduced. Though some damage will occur, but yes, we can prevent the building from having a major disaster. This is a figure of a fire door. Fire doors are designed to withstand fire, heat, and smoke for a period of 20 minutes to 3 hours. Did you know that the corridor office are the fire doors and should have minimum 20 minutes rating? Corridor laboratory doors have the minimum 60-minute rating. Means these are all the laboratory doors are having, it can resist the fire up to 60 minutes. The office doors can resist the fire up to 20 minutes. Fire doors are required be self-closing. They should be self-closing. Fire doors should have a closed door that pulls doors completely shut after the door has been opened. Okay. So this is one requirement of the fire door. Second is have positive latching. A positive latch locks a door into the place, so can open swinging upon freely. So this is how the positive launching will cause easy swinging of the door. So it is very much required to prevent the fire in the offices or any kind of industry. So this is our session. I am Professor Akash Suthar, and we will be meeting in the next session. Thank you. Thanks for attending the session from Professor Akash R. Suthar.
Hello students, so hereby we are coming to the end of our virtual class session of the subject of industrial safety. We have discussed a lot regarding the topics of the today's session. So if you have any kind of a doubts, if you have any kind of queries, you can send me your doubts and queries via mail. My mail ID will be in my channel. So check into my channel, like it, and mail me whatever the doubts you have. And thanks again for attending the session. See you in the next session.